Hi, this is Jim Paff. If you like the content that you see here, please like and subscribe to our channel, and be sure to follow us at politicsisn'tnice.com. You can also go to locatejim.com. Thank you.
Right.
So I was in college at Indiana University, and there was this, and I started.
Forgive you for being a Hoosier, by the way.
Thank you. Well, we play better basketball than you Kentuckians.
No!
By the way, I would love to.
Here comes the brawl.
I would love to do the Kentucky jokes. I have a. They're off track here, and
Sure.
I'll get back to my thing. This is my. The way I look at college basketball. And
Right.
I love college basketball.
Sure.
I mean, people in Kentucky, I still
Kentucky, Indiana, North Carolina, it's all there is.
that's right.
Yeah.
So, I think it's fair to say Indiana kind of is the world home of basketball, but Kentucky and North Carolina are close seconds in my mind. You may
Right.
disagree, but I'm just.
Oh, we're going to claim it. But that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
Having, like, those three states are all going to tell each other they're the home of it. And that's what makes being those three states as opposed to anybody else as a poser.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is my theory on college basketball, the history of college basketball. Since the 1940s, when the NCAA tournament became the dominant tournament,
Yeah.
it was the NIT before that, but the NCAA put together a tournament. There are only 4 teams that are the heart
Right.
of college basketball.
Yeah.
It's Indiana, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Kansas,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
Because every one of those teams, they've had their down decades, but every decade since the 1940s, those are the 4 teams you always
Right.
look to.
Right.
It's been my theory for a long time.
Yeah, and then there'll be some people that'll try to interject Duke in there, but Duke doesn't win championships.
Well,
They go to the tournament every year, but that's not the same. And they're always like in the top 5, and then they fizzle every year. They
Yeah.
exit early. Of course, Kansas has that problem too right now. But
But
yeah.
but we all have in
Yeah.
various decades.
From time
The
to time,
thing
yeah.
is, Duke's only done that within the last 3 decades.
right, exactly.
And
not
because
all the way back to the 40s. And
that's exactly
yeah,
right.
That's a great point. Yeah.
And they are today the San Francisco of the 1950s.
yeah.
San Francisco had that too. Wilt Chamberlain played. I think it was Wilt Chamberlain played at San Francisco, and they won some championships in the 50s. So
Right.
no, these 4 teams are always in the game somewhere.
Yep.
I mean, they're making the tournaments. They're rarely not making the tournaments,
Right.
and they don't always do great in the tournaments, but they've all won championships.
Yep.
Through that time. UCLA is another one that people say,
Yeah.
"Oh, you got to put UCLA." No, John Wooden era.
Yeah.
And then a
then
brief time in the
nothing.
90s,
Yeah.
and that's really
it.
about
Yeah,
it.
that's
So,
not enough to call it a dynasty.
right.
It was a dynasty period versus, like you said, always Kentucky, Kansas, North Carolina, Indiana, always in the mix. And when they're not in the mix, something's wrong
Right.
in college basketball. When Indiana wasn't doing so well a few years back,
Right.
it was like, they're going through fits and starts trying to find a great coach because something's wrong in the world of basketball when it's not. When
It
they're not
drives
in it.
everybody
Yeah.
nuts. If the 4 of these teams don't show up in the tournament,
Yeah.
people are like, what's going on
Yeah,
here?
it's
That's
not
really
worth
weird. Yeah. No, seriously. So even though
Yeah.
I'll take Kentucky has more championships than
Right,
IU,
right, sure.
but I'll take IU over Kentucky anytime. You have to respect Kentucky basketball. I was in North Carolina with my uncle one time. Got on the golf course, and I had some IU socks on.
Oh no.
And this guy comes up to me and says, "Hey, what are you doing there?" And I had to say, "Hey, I love Dean Smith. I just got to tell you, I have great respect for Dean
Diplomatic.
Smith." Yeah, you got to be. So
When in Rome.
So anyway, it's that I love basketball.
Yeah,
I hate NBA basketball, but
Oh,
I
yeah, me too.
love college basketball. And
Yeah.